missed you. Hello. Who is with me? Let me know once you're here. I would love to welcome you by name. Gonna go live on Instagram as well. I am in my new office. So last week I resumed self-love sermons for the first time in months. And hi, Instagram. And I went live from my dining room, and now I'm in my office for the first time. So it's very exciting. Who's with me? Welcome. Welcome, village. So good to be with you, talking about a subject that I've actually been struggling with lately, because the best sermons come from the heart and from what is going on in my own head, my own heart, my own spirit, my own body, because I am always, never not in the throes of my spiritual practice, right? The project is never done, y'all. We are always evolving and growing and healing and uncovering new levels of consciousness and alignment. And so today we're going to talk about the imposter syndrome and self-sabotage. Because I'm in the throes of transition, as always. We are, but in a very 3D literal way, in that I have just relocated cross country with my husband. And with that comes a lot of bumping up against the edges, a lot of friction, a lot of doubt and questioning everything. And maybe you're going through this too, maybe you are starting to doubt universe, yourself, your alignment, your choices, your desires, everything. And if so, you're not alone. We're going to talk about this all today. Why do we self-sabotage? What is the imposter syndrome? I could say, how do we heal it or combat it? Really, it's how do we relate to it? Everything is relationship. Everything is relationship, and everything belongs. So even your imposter belongs. But let's figure out where she belongs, why she's here, what she's needing, and how to provide that for her, how to meet your own needs today and get back into alignment. Beloved ones, in case this is your first sermon, welcome. I go live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And you can find me on Instagram. You can find me in my Divine Feminine Self-Love Facebook group here. So you are very welcome. I also post all the replays on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on my website, ellengilbert.com. And if you've never met me, this is your first time popping in or watching a replay, I am a Divine Feminine Self-Love coach. So I help women begin to rebuild their self-trust through these divine feminine practices of pleasure, rest, and community. So we're cultivating authentic community together. That's why we're here. That's what we're doing shamelessly, courageously. And we are claiming our pleasure without fear. We are claiming our rest. And we're healing from all of the ways we've brought capitalism, patriarchy, misogyny, racism, colonialism, evangelicalism inside our own bodies. So we can claim our own power and step into universal alignment to create our best lives that we are so worthy of. And if that resonates with you, I'm so glad you're here. Keep listening, keep watching. You are very welcome. If today's sermon resonates, I give these sermons and these podcasts and these offerings freely. So your support would really make a difference. I invite you to go to ellengilbert.com/donate, even just a couple bucks. Some people give a couple bucks every week, and it really does add up and help me continue providing this service. But go ahead and grab a journal today, grab a candle, grab some sort of nourishing, cozy beverage, whatever you need. We're going to practice some meditation today, a little bit of visualization. It's going to be really beautiful. And so, just as we always do, let's start by lighting our candle. I've already lit mine from my gas stove because still no sign on my lighter and my matches from the move. So I'm actually going to light some Palo Santo today. And yes, I am still in a camping chair. I've been telling all my clients, like, I'm still in the liminal space, y'all. Definitely very much still in transition. Aren't we all always? Lighting the Palo Santo, the holy wood. For all of us, my intention is that we may relate to our inner imposter with curiosity and compassion and understanding so that we can heal her, meet her needs, and ultimately come into greater alignment, greater self-love, greater ease, flow, pleasure, joy, love, all things that are good, all things we are worthy of. What is your intention? You can put it in the comments below or just hold it in your heart as you light your candle. May the circle be unbroken. Deep breath in, out through the mouth. And so it is. And so it is, beloved. I feel your energy here in this circle, whether you're here with us live or in the replay. You are so welcome to this space. So let's get into it. And if you have any questions or comments, I love to see them come through in the chat and I'll respond to them, or in the comments if this is the replay. Imposter syndrome. Have you ever just started to get everything you ever wanted? Or maybe you finally got up the courage to ask for something that you really wanted, only to hear this voice in your head that says, who do you think you are? That's the imposter, dear ones. That's the imposter. And we talk a lot in self-love sermons about inner critic, right? Inner critic is sort of that low-level, constant push and pull relay between our deepest fears, right, which is the inner critic, and our deepest love, which is the higher self. And most of us, before we have a spiritual awakening, before we begin to love and trust ourselves, we are playing in inner critic pretty much all of the time. We are more identified with this small, separate self who is afraid, who is in survival mode, who is living in scarcity, who is acting and reacting based on this fear 24/7. Well, what if this happens? Well, what if they don't love me? Well, what if I can't get what I need? And then you're acting and reacting and living from that place of scarcity. That's inner critic, right? And we've done a lot of exercises. If you join me for homecoming, right, you kind of create a cartoon persona of your inner critic, and we learn how to relate to it with understanding and compassion. So if you haven't done that practice, DM me and I'll send you the guided meditation for free. But we do this practice of really getting close to our inner critic and saying, well, what are you really afraid of? What is it you really need? We don't just push it away. We ask it, we engage with it, we relate to it, we commune with it. And when we do this with this part of ourselves, we tap into our deepest love, our higher self, our love and light, boundless eternalness, the part of you that goes on and on forever in all directions, the part of you that is not only connected to source, but is source. So at all times, right, you're kind of choosing which one you feed. You know, are you feeding the thoughts of the inner critic, or are you feeding the thoughts of the higher self? This is just low level, day by day spiritual practice. We're making these choices 24/7, right? Every thought we attach to or don't is a choice. So, fear or love, this is kind of the basics. And the more we sit in meditation, the more we consciously choose to be in deep love, to be in higher self energy, high vibration, then the more things begin to align with our deep manifestations. So, manifestation is not a gumball machine. We have to practice being in alignment with our highest self. We have to practice not believing, not attaching to inner critic. This is like Law of Attraction 101. And I know y'all know this because you're already awakening, you're conscious, you're evolving because you're here. Something drew you to this sermon, to this work, to this curiosity about self-love. Something inside you is saying you are worthy. Stop playing small. So you're here. So you're in higher self, at least part of the time. And then what happens? You start to get clear on what you desire. You start to map out the life of your dreams and take clear, direct action in alignment with those dreams. And then one day, there's a knock at the door, and everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of that door. Okay, this is the natural, this is the way the universe works. So what is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is not answering the door. Imposter syndrome is only arriving when everything we've ever wanted is available to us. When we've been in higher self, in alignment, in manifestation mode, to the point that things are starting to arrive, but then we get so terrified of receiving them. So that's that who do you think you are voice, okay? I just wanted to set the stage because inner critic and imposter syndrome are both ego parts. They are both rooted in scarcity and fear and survival. But the way they operate is very different. And actually, I always tell my clients, it's a good sign if imposter syndrome shows up. Like it's a huge win and a light post that you are on the right path, that you are manifesting, that things are starting to come your way. And now we have our work cut out for us because now we have to heal the nervous system and make space in the body to receive that thing that we courageously asked for, that thing that we've been manifesting. So I'm going to read you this quote. This is from Marianne Williams, A Return to Love. She says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate." I just want you to close your eyes and put your hand on your heart as I read her words to you. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. How do those words land for you? How does it make you feel? When I first heard this quote, I was like stopped dead in my tracks. She was speaking to something that I had always known, but I'd never heard put to words. And it was like, okay, I'm seen. I'm not alone, number one. But number two, it called me out on my bullshit. It called me out on my imposter syndrome, right? Because it says, who are you not to be all of these wonderful things that you're longing for? There is goodness in you. There is pure light and love in you. The fact that you care about these things, that you care about yourself and the world, is proof of your goodness. As Tara Brach says, it's the proof of your gold within you. So Tara is my spiritual teacher, and she tells a story about a Buddha statue that was in Southeast Asia. Sorry, I don't remember the country. For years, years and years and years, it survived all of these conquests and invaders and wars. And it was just this clay Buddha statue. And one day in like the 50s, there was a crack that began to develop, and a monk was cleaning the Buddha statue and looked into the crack and saw this gleaming light, and he started picking away at the crack, and come to find out there was more gold and more gold and more gold. And what it was a solid gold Buddha statue that had been covered over with clay, a clay cast, to protect it from being stolen, from being, picked apart during all of these hundreds of years. It had to develop this covering, this identity apart from the gold in order to survive. And I love this story because Tara says that's what we do. Yeah? We project this idea of a separate egoic self over our goodness, over our pure love and light higher self. We put on all this clay covering just to survive in this world, in this hard world. Maybe you can right now think of all the ways that you've protected yourself and that you've covered over your own goodness in order to survive. It wasn't wrong or bad, it was adaptive. And now we are here, and now you are here to begin uncovering one step at a time, a little bit, a little square inch of that clay covering. The imposter syndrome, it's a syndrome. It's a group of qualities and symptoms that appear when we've gotten identified with the clay and not the gold. We've gotten identified with how other people see us. The worst fears we have about ourselves, the inner critic, right? We've gotten identified with all of this other noise, and we've lost sight of our true nature, which is pure worthiness. And she says child of God, I say God. God means good. That's all God means. That's all God is. And you are God. You are divine. That's your goal. That's your goodness. So this is an ego part. We don't want to get identified. And when we notice we're identified, what do? So we're going to talk about some of these things. And I just, in case you feel like you're the only one who's ever felt this way, my past career was working with high-level women leaders all over the world. So I worked with women who were in parliament in their countries. I worked with women who had founded nonprofits, social enterprises, businesses, organizations, NGOs. They were CEOs, they were leaders, they were founders, and they were mothers and wives, and they had so many hats that they were wearing. And these women were incredible. They were my heroes, you know? And I looked up to them so much. And they would all train each other on different topics. And one day after a training, one of the highest level, you know, by like society standards, women turned to me and she said, "Oh, I did such a terrible job. You know, I just kept hearing in my head this little voice saying that, you know, I shouldn't be training. Who am I to be training?" And I look at this woman who is like, she has won so many, you know, international prizes. She's like this insane, like documentary filmmaker, has like all these accolades, right? Like all of the proof of like the social proof of success externally. And she's sitting here telling me, and I'm thinking like, if anyone is fucking qualified to be leading a training for us, it's you. And she looks at me and she says, you know, I am unworthy, is basically what she's saying. And it stopped me. And I said, you know, everyone experiences imposter syndrome. If you experience it, then everyone experiences it. And this is a story I carry with me because we all need to be reminded that we are not alone. Like, Beyonce feels this way. Everyone feels this way, okay? From time to time, everyone feels this way. You are not alone, and it is not proof that what you're feeling and thinking is true. Your thoughts can be real, like you're experiencing them as truth, but they are not true. They are not accurate information. It's not like necessarily the source you need to go by, okay? The source you need to go by is source with a capital S. It's that highest self. When you're in alignment, that's truth. That is the only truth. Imposter syndrome is not truth, even though you're experiencing as truth. Yeah. Hey, Jamie. So I love how Amanda Palmer puts it in her book, The Art of Asking. She talks about the imposter syndrome police and how her fear, the more success, the higher she got as a musician and an artist, the more fame and money she received, the more she would lie awake at night in just panic that these imposter syndrome police were going to burst through her door with like a clipboard and tell her, "We know that you're just making it all up as you go along. And like, we've discovered the truth and we're going to tell everybody." So like that is the feeling. Yeah. It's the feeling of not opening the door, like I described, when everything you want is on the other side. It's the insanity that would keep you from walking to the door and opening it. But it's also this panic that grips you in the middle of the night and says, everyone's going to find out that I've been winging it. So it's a good sign that it's shown up because it means you're reaching a little bit more of that success you've been manifesting for yourself. It's that last-ditch effort of your ego to protect yourself from what? From success. So it uses self-sabotage to do its bidding. It's those little ways that you get in your own way. Like, what is it for you? For me, lately, it's been ditching my self-care. I know, I said it. I'm a self-care coach, y'all. And up until yesterday, I had gone like 3 weeks without my usual practices. That was really difficult. That's self-sabotage. I was choosing everything but myself. I was choosing those little quick fixes, those reaches for things that are going to make me feel good in the moment, but not in the long term. Whatever that is for you. Maybe it's like fast food or Netflix or Instagram, but it's when you grab so many quick band-aids that you're giving all of your energy to the band-aids and not to the life-saving surgery that you need. You know, maybe for you, it's flat out rejecting those opportunities when they come knocking. Like maybe you finally got the courage to start calling yourself a coach or a teacher or a business owner or an artist or a runner or an actor. You finally got the courage to say, this is who I am. And then what happens? Universe brings you these people and these opportunities who say, oh, you're an artist. Will you create this thing for me that I need? Or can I see your work? And you're like, oh, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. No, no, no. I know I said that. But in reality, I'm not quite ready yet. It's always the maybe in another year, maybe in another month, maybe next week, maybe around the corner when I feel worthy enough, thin enough, strong enough, beautiful enough, rich enough, when I have the right partner, when I have the right friend group, when I have the right house. It's always the when I have something else, then I'll be ready. Because we're grabbing at these externalities. Yeah, I have so been there, y'all. It is painful to see ourselves sabotage the success that we've been manifesting for years, sometimes decades. It finally comes within arm's reach and we say no. Is there anything more painful than that? It's self-rejection and self-distrust on the deepest level. And our psyche is really damaged by this. Because you might think, oh, I'm not hurting anyone by saying no. I'm not hurting anyone by staying under the covers, playing small. But just like that Marianne Williamson quote says, you are hurting everyone because your alignment, your desires are from the divine to pull you into alignment. And your alignment is my alignment, is everyone's alignment, is the alignment of our entire universe. Like when you pull yourself into alignment through receiving your desires, you are giving permission to everyone who witnesses you that they can do the same. Playing small doesn't serve anyone. Stepping into your truth and receiving all of your worthiness serves everyone. It gives us all permission. So why do we have this? I read a post the other day that said maybe imposter syndrome doesn't even exist. Maybe it's always internalized racism, misogyny, internalized capitalism. All of these isms, the overculture that we've brought inside the body. You know how much I love talking about this. I won't go into a tangent too much. But think about it, I work with women, so think about it from the perspective of internalized patriarchy. What does society say about a woman who receives her pleasure on a revolving door basis? Like, what do you believe about a woman who gets everything she wants? What are you believing about this woman? This woman that you secretly wish to be. I talked about the witch wound last week. We talked about the sisterhood shadow and this deep competition that came out of the burning times. We can definitely see that at play here, can't we? I remember in Untamed, Glennon Doyle talks about this child on her son's soccer team or her daughter's soccer team, this young girl who just acted really confidently on the soccer field and was beautiful and happy and confident and really skilled and talented. And Glennon noticed that all the other moms and her just had this nasty feeling toward this child because she was so happy and so confident and seemed to have everything she wanted. And then she said she was 12. Like, this shit runs so deep that she was feeling competitive with this little girl. That's not our fault, okay? This is internalized patriarchy. But we need to confront some of these beliefs. Because if you believe that a woman who gets everything she wants is bad or evil or dirty or shameful or washed up, or bad things are going to happen to her, she's going to lose everything, she's going to lose those that she loves. You know, more money, more problems, right? One of the deepest limiting beliefs that we all share. More money, more problems. It keeps us from receiving these good things. So let's become aware of it. Let's not take too much of the blame. Remember, this is biology and this is society kind of working together to keep us small, to keep us surviving. But it's reached its point of usefulness and now we want to thrive. So now we have to throw these things off and make a choice to keep opening. Keep that door open. Or I say, keep it on a revolving door of your desire, your ease, your pleasure, your joy, your love, your wealth, your abundance. A revolving door from the universe of everything you want. I was listening to Abraham Hicks the other day, and they talk about, they were talking to someone who had a question at one of their events, and the person asked them, the person said to them, you know, I got everything and more beyond my wildest dreams. And Abraham said, stop saying that. You don't receive beyond your wildest dreams. You receive at the level of your wildest dreams. And they really wanted us, humanity, to stop saying, I got it all and then some. I got more than I asked for. Because everything is vibration, so you get exactly what you ask for. What does imposter syndrome get? A whole lot of negativity and a whole lot of non-success. Also, let's define success. Let's not just inherit society's definition of success. Let's not take it for granted that we all have an agreed upon idea of what success is, an agreed upon standard. There is no gold standard for what success is. Success is up to you. How do you want to feel? Stop focusing on what you don't want to happen. Start focusing on what you do want to happen. If you don't believe you're afraid of success, then answer this question. Do you spend more time thinking about what you do want or more time thinking about what you don't want? I guarantee you spend more time focusing on what you don't want to happen, because that's the ego trying to prepare itself for rejection, for disappointment, for failure, for death, on a literal biological level. This is the negativity bias. This is your lower brain really trying to stay safe. The good news is we can retrain our brain, our body for abundance. We don't have to stay in that fear of success mode. But now that we've all come to an agreement that we're all afraid of success, how are we going to handle it when it comes for us? Do you want to continue oscillating between this higher self, high vibration manifestation mode of magic and this deep, dark imposter fear that arises every time you get close to receiving what you've manifested? And then you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. That's exhausting. That's exhausting. And all that momentum that you've cultivated, all of the energy that you've put into your dream, feeling good, feeling well and whole and abundant, you're taking it 10 steps back every time you give in to imposter, every time you self-sabotage. We've got to break this cycle because your precious energy and precious momentum in this embodiment, in this iteration of your life, is finite. And we need you. We need your dreams. We need your alignment. So how do we heal all of this? I don't want you getting aligned just enough that when you start to receive everything you ever wanted, you freeze up. I don't want you mistrusting yourself. That's a painful, painful place for you to be. How are we going to heal this? So let's practice a visualization together. I've been holding out on you. Bringing your feet flat on the floor. Landing in your body. What do you notice right now? At what level are you connected to yourself? What's being really loud right now? Is it the mind, the body? Both. What degree of spaciousness do you feel in the body? No judgment, just noticing, awareness. How is your breath? Is it coming easily? Is it staggered, cut off? Set the intention to open the pathways. Set the intention to carve out more space so that you can hold and receive all that you desire. Letting the tension melt out of the shoulders, out of the neck, out of the arms, down through the fingertips. Sighing it out. Letting the tension melt from the glutes, from the hamstrings, the hips, the knees, down through the calves and the feet and the toes, down into Mama Earth. Sighing it out. Let it all go. Let everything go. All of the stories, all of the thoughts, all of the clay coverings, everything you've become identified with. This is not you. I am not Ellen. You are not. Insert your name here. Find the gold. Find the gold within your heart. Warm, sticky. With every breath in, it grows. Radiating from your heart space. Another breath in. It expands to fill the entire torso, up through the shoulders, down into your seat. Another breath. It radiates through the legs, down into the feet. On the next inhale, it grows down into the arms, shooting out the fingertips. Another breath, it fills the neck and throat, radiating up through the face and the head, shooting out the crown of the head. Your whole body aglow, alight with this gold goodness. You are spacious. You are whole. This is all just capacity. Find the outline of your body. Is that really where you end? Think of all you are capable of, dear one. This moment contains multitudes. All you are is capacity and potential. Cells vibrating, the space between those cells, the space between your breaths, the space between your thoughts. All you are is pure potential, beautiful one. All you are is a catalyst for source. Feel the buzzing in your body. Every cell and the space between cells alive with resonance. Alive with capacity, with power, opportunity, potential, choice. Can you forgive yourself when you make a wrong choice? And once again, reset in this place, in the gold. Choose again, forever and never not, in a state of choosing and re-choosing that next level, higher vibration, thought, feeling, action, destiny. From this place of your highest resonance, connection and alignment, dear one, what do you desire? See it in your mind's eye. What do you desire for today, for tomorrow, for all of your days? Until you lay down and go to sleep forever, what do you desire? This is all play. Keep your heart open, keep your heart gold. What do you desire? Stay open. Stay spacious. Stay rooted. Stay in your goodness. Lock in this image that you're seeing in your mind of what you desire. Deep exhale. Bringing the hands together at heart center. Deep bow to your highest self. To your desires. When you're ready, beautiful one, you may open your eyes. You belong to what you long for. Everything is vibration. We all want tools. We all want noise, content, distractions. But it all comes down to this. How quickly can you remember when you forget that you are good and worthy? Can you push through and deliver your purpose? Can you reframe every challenge, every opportunity as an experiment, as play? One of my favorite ways of relating to imposter is to laugh it off. It gets easier the more you do it. And I am still very good at not going after what I deeply want in order to protect myself. And usually the way I do it is I say, oh, I just don't have the energy. All I am is pure energy. That energy's going somewhere. Where do I choose to put it? The truth is I am choosing not to put my energy toward what I'm afraid will backfire. But what happens when things backfire? What happens when we fail? When things don't go according to plan? We don't have to make it about us. We make it about us because we want that answer. We want to know who's to blame. Because our minds only work in good, bad dichotomies. So if something is bad, then I must be bad. It's the shortest distance between what went wrong and how to fix it. Because if I'm the problem, then I can fix it and I can have control. But it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. And also entropy is all around us. Things fall apart. Impermanence is real. And it's not your fault. Okay, I'm saying a lot of words. Let's grab your journal. And I encourage you, we've done a little retraining of our body just now, our nervous system. We're shifting our energy to be able to receive and remember our gold and our goodness. But let's retrain our brain. So write down the story you're always telling yourself. It could be the voice of the imposter. What stories are you putting on repeat? And they probably start with these words. Either I always, you can write this down, I always, I never, I need to learn, this always happens. So go ahead and write down, like finish those thoughts. What is your imposter putting on repeat in your head, in your brain, in your thoughts? And I'm pretty sure, I mean, you can share them for sure in the comments. I'm pretty sure whatever the story is, it all comes down to one distilled thought. It's my fault. This is what children tell themselves when they're abused, when their parents get divorced. This is like that common refrain that we hear. We need to make sure that children know that it's not their fault when things fall apart. But what about the adults? This is still our most common refrain. Something bad happened, so I must be bad. I want you to take each of these stories and cross them out and write a new one. For example, my story is I'm never good with money. And I always fuck it up. So I'm going to cross that out and write a new story. My new story is I allow money to flow through me, light me up, and expand to others like a prism. What are your new stories? You see, we gotta retrain our brains. We gotta do it. And if you're someone who often says, I don't know, like I don't know what to do, what should I do? I don't know who I am, I don't know what could happen, I don't know. And I want you to remember this little nugget of wisdom. Clarity comes from engagement. You have to take action. Sitting around doubting yourself, doubting the universe, never helped anybody. As long as you have breath in your lungs, why don't we design experiments? Why don't we try things out? Why don't we see what might happen? And start to really fine-tune your body, your nervous system to feel your way through it, to feel your way through what is right. I have so many clients who say to me, I don't know, just tell me what to do. That's not coaching. My solution is not your solution. Only you know how you want to feel and how it feels when you feel it. Do you have the courage to start experimenting, to start trying, to start taking a little bit of action in the direction of your alignment, in the direction of your desire? This is like what imposter syndrome is most terrified of. And it's going to get louder and louder the closer you get to it. It's a good sign. Take it as a good sign. Laugh it off. Say, I see you. I know why you're here. Many times it's here to protect us. You can even say, thank you for trying to protect me. I'm going to choose to stay in the gold, to stay in my highest self. I'm going to choose to sit in meditation and identify with my eternal, boundless, vibrational potential self. I'm going to choose to refill at the source. And then I'm going to take some action. I'm going to see what happens. Which is why we say, if you want to be a coach, call yourself a coach. If you want to be a runner, say, I'm a runner. Get you the shoes you need. Like, it all starts with these little actions, these little identifying actions. And remember, you get to change your mind because this is all fun. Your only rubric is how happy did it make you. It's really that simple. Did you suffer more or less as a result of your experiment? Were you more or less happy after you took a little bit of action and engagement? It makes it quite simple. We need to clear through the clutter and the noise and allow ourselves this one rubric because we are worthy. And actually, the more joy and ease and fun you let into your life, the more you become a magnet for it. You're showing universe. There's no evidence to believe or to trust that this is going to work out, but I'm going to take that next step anyway. The last thing I want you to write down in our last few minutes here, 3 steps you will take today to get out of your own way. 3 steps you will take today to get out of your own way. Like today, before midnight. Whenever you're watching this. 3 steps. I'm going to go ahead and write down mine. For me, it's usually people that I haven't wanted to reach out to because I feel like, oh, who am I? That's the big one, right? It's like, oh, they're not going to want to hang out with me. They're not going to want to work with me. They're not going to want to talk to me. Why not? Like you, me, all of us. Especially when we are resourced, we're a friggin' treat. We all need each other. I want you to say to yourself, I'm a powerful woman. Everything I desire is flowing to me, and I receive it with an open heart, an open mind, a rooted root chakra. I stand here ready to receive. You can put your shoulders back and open your heart. Receive the breath. Receive every breath and the next one with an open, receptive heart, with a slight smile, not for anyone else, but for you because you are worthy. Sending you so much love. Quick reminder, I have a free webinar tomorrow, July 14th at 2 p.m. Eastern called How to Have a Better Bleed. You can head to ellengilbert.com/better-bleed to get all the details, or maybe the replay if it's after July 14th, 2021. And I think that's it for now. So I will see you next week. Sending you lots of love. Let me know what your 3 steps are and if you took them. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, dear ones. See you soon. Bye.